Tax prep software giant TurboTax is telling customers that some people may not have received their stimulus payment because of an IRS error, but they expect the issue to be corrected within days. The IRS recently began issuing a second round of stimulus payments to those eligible. Unfortunately, because of an IRS error, millions of payments were sent to the wrong accounts, and some may not have received their stimulus payment, TurboTax said in a blog post on its website Wednesday and in an email to customers, according to The Hill. We have been working tirelessly on a solution with the Treasury and the IRS. As a result, our expectation now is that within days the error will be corrected and stimulus payments will begin being deposited into correct bank accounts. The company added, we have also reconfirmed at the IRS that they have all the correct banking information for our customers. So there's a couple things I want to tell you about. One thing, we're hearing that some people may not receive that $600 because they have to file their 2020 tax returns first. So if they do that online, it's going to take even a couple more weeks to even get the $600. Now, we're hoping after January 20th, we can get another stimulus checks for our soulmates for $2,000. Meanwhile, Megan Kramer, she wrote, I saw this online, where she can't sleep because they have no money. And she has $80 in her bank account. And they don't know how they're going to pay their car note that's about to get repossessed and feed their kids. So when you think about this, some of the money went out, but I'm hearing only maybe like 68 to 70% checks actually only went out so far.
That's ridiculous. Look at all the time between the first checks and now, all of that time. How come our federal government couldn't have gotten this together? All of that time they had to fix the system. Even the, what was it? People were complaining because the Get My Payment tool, they were having the same issues that they had before. And just like you said, the IRS is saying some of you but some of you may not even get the checks. And it turns out they're going to have to get a rebate on their taxes.
Yeah.
So what if you owe money? You're not even going to see that.
You may not even
and the
see
people
it at
who
all.
got them on time will just get their check and not have to pay it back. It's just, they had so much time
to get this right.
Well, I just have a question. I don't know if anyone knows the answer to this, but I've been dying to know, and I couldn't find it on the internet. So say for instance, people that got their $600, right? And if the $2,000 goes through, what happens to the people that got the $600? Do you know if you get another payment of $1,400? Does anyone know?
No idea.
What happens? Okay.
No clue.
Because if we're supposed to get $2,000, but some people already got $600, so then.
Well, I think the $600 was finalized because they didn't
There's
approve
going to
the
be
$2,000.
so many different rules and stipulations and
Yeah.
income levels. Who knows?
Make it
If
make
it'll
sense.
even happen.
I know,
Right?
but I wouldn't mind, getting another check now. Okay,
A lot of people,
but not mind another check. All right, now the Treasury Department has launched a $25 billion rental assistance program with funds from the $900 billion coronavirus relief package enacted last week. The department announced that on Thursday. State, territorial, tribal, and local governments covering more than 200,000 people are now eligible to apply for aid allocated to help struggling Americans cover rent and prevent landlords from racking up debt and on their tenants. Now, eligible entities can apply for funding to cover up to 15 months of rental expenses for households, the Treasury Department says. Qualifying households include at least one person who is eligible for unemployment insurance or suffered a coronavirus-related loss of income. It's at risk. Also, they have to be homeless or have a housing insecurity and have a housing income at or below 80% of the area median. So I was trying to do some research on this. I looked up the link. They don't make it a very easy link to find, so you definitely have to do some, Googling. But I think the link closes at the end of the month. So anyone that is interested in that or needs that, you want to get on top of it now because that link is closing towards the end of the month for sure.
Man, it's such a sad situation.
Yeah.
How
But
are
I'm
we
happy.
gonna pay
I'm happy
this money
that
back other than this. Thank God they're doing this. People have been racking up back payments of rent, and now it's January, and they want their money back. The landlords. How are people ever going to pay that back? Still, with these millions of people that don't have jobs right now, I cannot imagine.
It seems like
the
a slippery
stress.
slope. Just like it's just
Yeah.
not. It's going to get worse before it gets better.
This is like a student loan on steroids. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, it takes forever to pay that back. But now you find yourself in a hole as an adult with family, with your kids. And now how do you ever, like you said, recover from this?
Yeah.
Because I definitely think at the beginning of the pandemic when, unemployment had the extra $600 a month and then you had the rent moratorium, you have those people that were just like, okay, this is nice. Okay, I got $600. I can just, go on vacations, do whatever.
Yeah.
Didn't save any money. Oh, I don't have to pay my rent for a few months. Okay, this is nice. But now $600 is over, unemployment is ending, rent moratorium is over. It is back to real life. And so now I think it's about to get real for a lot of people.
And you know what? I've even heard in some relationships you find out who the real person is, because through this, some people were splurging while others were trying to save and be smart about it.
Yeah.
And I know some people have broken up because of this. Like, I can't even stay in that situation because they don't understand the reality of life. Well, here we are. We're in the middle of it.
Exactly. Yep. All right, well, today in Black History, we remember Zora Neale Hurston, American folklorist and author. She was born on this day in 1891. Hurston rose to fame during the time of the Harlem Renaissance and is best known for the 1937 novel, Their Eyes Were Watching God. Hurston's novels, short stories, and plays often depicted African-American life in the South. Her work in anthropology examined Black folklore. Why am I having so much trouble with that word? God! Hurston influenced many writers, forever cementing her place in history as one of the foremost female writers of the 20th century. Now, has anybody here ever used a fountain pen? I used to have one. Well, it was my dad's. And anyways, today, W.B. Purvis, one of our great African-American inventors, received a patent for the fountain pen. And those are some of the most important moments that happened today in Black history.
Real quick, can we say happy birthday to Blue Ivy, though? Celebrating her birthday today. Just want to shout her out.
Okay, wait, since we're talking about birthdays, my little sister is in labor right now.
Yes!
Okay,
My
there we
nephew
go.
Austin is on the way. It looks like today is going to be his birthday.
Send her our congratulations.
I will. Thank you, Melissa.
I love it. I was definitely going to say the same thing, Romeo. You took my comment.
Well, we're on the same page.
We're always here. All right, now taking it to our YouTube soulmates. Kim Johnson said, Demi, I got my stimmy. Ooh, that rhymes. Demi, I got my stimmy this past Friday. So congratulations, Kim.
And her shimmy. All right,
Demi, I got my stimmy. I love it. Maybe that's a new segment. Okay, Bob says he doesn't care about anybody but himself, talking about Donald Trump. He said, just look at that call to the Georgia Secretary of State. One more last one. Jennifer says, I can't believe this happened. It's so unfair. And Sharisa says, yes, Black and brown people are unemployed and losing their jobs daily. I mean, the chat is live, okay? Wherever you're watching from right now, head on over to our YouTube chat because, I'm shouting you all show long, okay? But if you are enjoying being with us on YouTube, don't worry. We're popping right now. Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, all at Fox Soul because the conversation never stops. Brooke, what's next?
All right, Demi, coming up, Shonda Rhimes has a hit at Netflix. NBA players take a knee, and we have exciting news for our soulmate filmmakers. Those stories are all coming up next on The Black Report.
Welcome back to The Black Report on Fox Soul, your daily source for Black news, views, and opinions. Stores run by Trump's organization and Trump's campaign were taken off of Shopify on Thursday for violating the company's policy of supporting people who condone violence. Official Trump stores that sold Trump merchandise, such as his signature Make America Great Again hats, were removed from the platform. The Wall Street Journal is reporting. Trumpstore.com and shop.donaldjtrump.com. It's a tongue twister. Were permanently banned. This decision comes after Wednesday's attack on the Capitol from pro-Trump rioters who believed in Trump's claims that the election was rigged. Shopify does not tolerate actions that incite violence, a Shopify spokesperson told Business Insider. Based on recent events, we have determined that the actions by President Donald J. Trump, they violate our acceptable use policy, which prohibits promotion or support of organizations, platforms, or people that threaten or condone violence to further a cause. As a result, we have terminated stores that are affiliated with President Trump. I just want to let you guys know, this is just for 2 months, right? I think it was March and April over the summer. Trump's merchandise store just for 2 months made $4 million during the pandemic. So just imagine how much money that was made online. So this is really big for Shopify because shout out to them. They're from Canada. Melissa, I don't know if you know they're Canada based, but I really like this because Shopify takes 3%. I use Shopify for my personal business.
Did you have an online business?
Yes, I use Shopify. I've always used Shopify. Shopify takes 3% of all of your sales. So Shopify, I'm sure they lost a lot of money doing this, but the fact that they stood up for something that they believe
did the right thing.
Yes, I just want to shout out Shopify. That was just amazing because they probably make a lot of money from Trump stores.
Yeah, and hit them in the pocket. Got to hit them in their wallet. They feel different that way.
Yeah.
All right. Players from 2 NBA teams took a knee during the national anthem Wednesday night after a day of civil unrest in Washington, election rocked the country, and a decision by Kenosha prosecutors not to bring charges against police officers involved in the shooting of Jacob Blake, according to the Bleacher Report. Most of the players on the Miami Heat and Boston Celtics opted to take a knee in solidarity before facing against each other. In a joint statement, the two teams expressed their initial hesitancy to play in the game, given an event of the day, but eventually decided to do so to try to bring joy to people's
Good for
lives.
them.
We love watching the NBA, but I would tell you this, if you think about what those players did, right? What they've been doing was once frowned upon. Think about what Colin Kaepernick did.
Still to this day.
Right, still, but now some people are looking forward to that for comfort. You know what I mean? Because after what's been going on. What were you going to say?
I was going to say, not only that, in comparison to what happened yesterday, I dare anybody to talk about patriotism and taking a knee.
Protests, right. On the topic of sports, I just want to also point out Tennessee Chattanooga just fired an assistant football coach after he posted a racist tweet and he tagged Stacey Abrams. He said something ridiculous to her. The man's name is Chris Mullen. I'm not going to read the tweet. It's offensive. It's racist. But this man was an offensive line coach. So that just kind of puts it in perspective. Yes, these men make a lot of money.
Yeah.
But they know what it's like.
Yeah.
Because this coach here, this college coach, was supposed to be a mentor and a leader for a bunch of black boys.
Yeah.
And behind the scenes, he was saying racist things. You know, so these men as adults and in their professional careers now, they know.
Once we wrap, Brooke, show me the tweet so I can find out who this guy is, all right? I'm not going to go do anything to him. I just want to know.
He was like, okay.
It definitely sounded like,
I'm going to go off on him on my social media page, okay?
Melissa's fired up.
Just watch.
Just watch. Right now.
Okay. Let's move right along to something a little bit more lighthearted. Netflix has another binge-worthy hit on its hands. The new series Bridgerton enjoyed a royal welcome upon its debut on Netflix and is a big hit with African Americans. According to the streaming giant, the Shondaland series is projected to reach 63 million households within 28 days of its Christmas Day debut. That would make it the 5th largest Netflix original series launch of all time. The show has also reached the #1 spot on Netflix top 10 rankings in 76 countries. The news is no doubt welcome at Netflix, as Bridgerton is the first series to debut under series executive producer Shonda Rhimes' 9-figure Netflix overall deal. The show is inspired by Julia Quinn's Bridgerton family novel series. It follows Daphne Bridgerton, the eldest daughter of the powerful Bridgerton family, as she makes her debut onto Regency London's competitive marriage market. Okay, you guys, we've been talking about this.
We have.
Brooke and Demi.
I'm so obsessed with it. It's so good.
So I finally saw the entire thing. Okay, so first things first, I think me, you, and Demi all agree. The Duke of Hastings, he's kind of hot, but
no, I'm into him. I like him. I'm into him.
Yeah. We like him? Okay,
no,
cool.
I'm into him for sure.
But there's the question of consent that has come up after watching the last couple of episodes on social media.
I was creeped out by the scene. I know what scene you're talking about. We don't want to spoil it for people, but
I haven't seen it yet.
Like
I haven't got to the end, so don't spoil it.
Okay, so we're not going to spoil it, but consent becomes a huge issue, and it's an online conversation on social media. So remember that, Demi.
Shout out to Shonda. If they don't respect you, move on. $300 million makes it easier to move on, but
I love
that's neither here nor there.